Once upon a time, there lived a very cruel, greedy and shrewd businessman named Sitaya. Sitaya owned almost 40 acres of land and all of it were mango trees. One day, he was wondering what he would do in order to maintain the land and maintain the farm for cultivation. So he invited a poor man named Mangaya and he said this to him.
Listen to me, Mangaya. If you take care of my land and if you cultivate all the trees and reap the fruits, I will give you 4 acres of land. Is that alright with you?
After listening to what Sitaya said, Mangaya said this to him.
Thank you so much for the offer, sir. Since you have given me the opportunity, I shall stay here and I shall make sure that all the trees cultivate fruits and I shall reap the benefits for you. But you have to keep your end of the promise of giving me 4 acres of land. That is important.
Don't worry, Mangaya. You can ask anybody in this village. Once I give my word, I will never take it back. If you buy your word or able to cultivate fruits in this farm, I will make sure that you get 4 acres of land. That is my promise.
Sure, sir. I shall begin my work from now onwards.
Mangaya tells everything that he had occurred until then to his wife. His wife looks at him and says this.
Why should we reject the gift that God has given us? We should not lose this opportunity. Your hard work will always be praised.
As both of them were talking, their son Ramu listened to the entire conversation. Their son Ramu was educated. He goes to his father and he asks her a question in doubt.
Father, he wants you to work on the entire field and he promises to give you 4 acres of land. After the work, what if he refuses to give you the land and what would you do?
Why would you ask me such question, Ramu? Sitaya is a very respected man in the entire village. Why would he go back on his own word? He is a great person.
I understand that, Father. But when it comes to money, you see the true colors of anybody in this world. How could you just take the man's word and proceed to work on the entire farm? That is quite risky, you know.
Why don't you tell me exactly what I must do right now?
Nothing much, Father. Just tell Sitaya to write an agreement in a letter so that we have a proof.
Are you insane? That would be so disrespectful to a big man like Sitaya. He has given me his word, which is already a huge grace for me. If I ask him to write it on a letter, think that would be very disrespectful of me to do. What would you think of me?
Fine, Father. I have told you what you need to know. But after this, it is your choice. People have already told me Sitaya is not good and stingy man in the village.
I don't think what you are saying to me is true. He has given me an opportunity and I am going to make use of it. I don't care what happens. This is my choice.
From that day onwards, Mangaya moved into the farm of Sitaya and he built a tiny hut for himself. He started watering all the trees and started cultivating fruits. 4 years later, the fruits started flourishing in the farm. Mangaya went to meet Sitaya and he said this.
Sir, our farm is now cultivating fruits. Please come and watch it with me.
After listening to what Mangaya said, Sitaya becomes very happy and says this.
Fine. Let us go see the farm and come back soon.
Sitaya and Mangaya, both of them go into the farm. And Sitaya looks at all the cultivated fruits industries after seeing all of this and he thought to himself.
This Mangaya did exactly what he said he would. He has cultivated fruits in all of my trees in the farm. But now I must give him back 4 acres of land and I don't want to do that anymore. I have to get rid of them as soon as possible. Only then would I be able to keep everything I have.
Sitaya thinking like that, he did not want to occupy his land. Sitaya begins to think in a very greedy and shrewd way. Mangaya looks at Sitaya and he says this.
Sir, haven't you seen how exactly the fruits have been cultivated? Like I said, now it is your time for you to repay me with 4 acres of land that you had promised.
Mangaya, this shows how much of an innocent and naive man you are. As you can see the trees, yes, it is cultivating fruits, but these fruits won't be worth that much because it is dry. This is the reason why you should have more experience before doing anything.
No, sir. This has been cultivated correctly. Please see it properly.
Mangaya, no, you do not seem to understand. Are you trying to tell me that I do not know about my own farm?
Sitaya starts yelling at Mangaya in a very harsh way just to drive them off the land. Mangaya was quiet for all this time, but he looks at Sitaya and he says this.
Sir, At least you have to listen to me first.
I will not listen to you because you have not done a good job. None of these trees are cultivated properly for fruits. You do not know what you are doing.
Both of them kept arguing with each other, but Sitaya got really upset and started yelling at him even more. Mangeya was quite submissive and he kept quiet. At that moment, Sitaya realized that this is the right moment to do what he wants. And he said this.
By the way, we both are arguing. I have come to understand that you don't want to be here in this land anymore. But even though you do not want to be in this land, you have done some hard work. And I will give you 4 acres of land because I am not a bad man. Come with me, we shall go.
Immediately, Sitaya takes Mangeya to a land, but that land is very rotten and it doesn't look like it can cultivate anything. Sitaya says this to Mangeya.
Mangeya, you see, this is the land that is mine and you can take it as yours. This is the 4 acres of land. You do not need to work again in my farm. But I have given my word and I have kept my word. So this is the land that you have now. What do you say?
That's what Sitaya said to him. At that moment, Mangeya was shocked to hear Sitaya's lies. Mangeya realized that he has been wronged and fooled. Mangeya gets very upset and he looks at Sitaya with an enraged expression in his face. Mangeya says this to him.
Sir, I was at the promise that you would give me 4 acres of mango tree land. What will I do with this land? There is nothing here in this land for me to cultivate. You better back on your words.
After listening to what Mangeya said, Sitaya looks at him and says this.
First of all, I only promised you 4 acres of land. I never promised you 4 acres of mango tree land. And by the way, none of the mango trees have been cultivated in my land. So I am not allowed to give you anything. But since I am a good person, I am giving you this land. If you want it, you can take it. Otherwise, you can leave from here right away.
Sitaya says this angrily as if he had slapped her in the face. After listening to everything that Mangeya said, Sitaya directly went to his house and he said everything that had occurred until then to his son and his wife. His son Ramu gets really upset and he says this to Mangeya.
Father, this is what I told that would exactly happen. You didn't listen my words. Wait and see what I will do. I shall teach this man a lesson. I will get what we are owed back. Just let me do.
After saying that, Ramu goes out of the house. Ramu brings both of his friends and he tells everything that his father told him. All 3 of them devise a plan to bring down Sitaya. At that moment, Ramu looked at both of his friends and he said this to them.
Sina and Raja, both of you are my friends. I want you to help me with this mission. I shall dress up like a sannyasi in a priest costume, and I want both of you to aid me in this act that we are doing.
Ramu puts on a costume of a priest and sits under it, while both of his friends go around the town and preach about the priest. As both of his friends talk about the priest, several people from the village come to visit him with several offerings. One day, one of the men who came to visit the priest has this.
Sir, we have come to receive blessings from you. We know you are the highest of the highest and we want you to change our lives.
Since Ramu had already known about all the villagers in the town, he was able to talk to them like he already knew them, which helped them sell the idea of the priest very much. But it was all in vain as Sitaya did not show up as per the plan. Several nights passed by and all 3 of them gathered around and make another plan.
Somehow, we are not able to get Sitaya to come into this place. Several people who are selfish always come and visit you. But we are not able to get this man.
Listen to me, friends. I have an idea for that. I want both of you to go and preach in the entire town that Guruji will be able to tell you how to find gold under the ground. If you make sure that Sitaya hears what we said, he will definitely come looking for us.
Immediately, both of the friends go near Sitaya's place and speak to each other in front of Sitaya so that he can hear them speak.
I have a huge secret to tell you, Raja. Please do not tell anybody. This might become a problem.
What? Is it about Guruji by any chance?
Yes. Guruji is not just a normal priest. He is also a very magical man. He can tell us how to find gold treasure under the ground.
Oh, but how do you know that the Guruji knows about this?
Yesterday, while I was sleeping, I saw an old lady go to Guruji and ask her the same question, and at the moment, Guruji told her exactly how to find gold under the ground. If we can track where the old lady is, we might be able to figure out how to find gold under the ground. By the way, let us also steal a few mangoes.
After listening to what this man spoke, Sitaya looks at them and he says this to himself.
Yes, this is a great time for me to follow these two men so that I can also know where to find the gold. I should go and meet that Guruji and get his blessings as soon as possible. Then I will also be a good treasure hunter.
Sitaya thinks like that. That night, Sitaya went straight to Guruji, but a lot of fruits and milk, and he fell in his feet to get his blessings. Sitaya got his blessings and he woke up and he said this to him.
Sir, it is so glad to meet you finally. I have been wanting to seek your blessings for a long time. I shall give you anything that you need. Please tell me where to find the treasure so I am able to find it myself.
After listening to what Sitaya said, Ramu responds to him this way.
What are you saying is very difficult to achieve. It is not very easy. Firstly, I want you to leave from here right now.
After listening to what Ramu said, Sitaya gets even more upset and he insists on knowing how to find the treasure.
Sir, please do not say this to me. How can I leave from here without knowing the knowledge?
Sitaya keeps begging Ramu by falling on his feet and pleading to him. At that moment, Ramu realizes that this is the right time to execute this plan.
Fine, I shall tell you exactly how to find the treasure. Come with me.
As they kept walking, Ramu and both of his friends reach the land. Sitaya and Ramu goes to barren land given to Mangaya. And Ramu puts a line in the land and he says this to Sitaya.
If you dig down here, you would be able to find several amounts of gold. I want you to take all that gold that you have dug and I want you to build a Shivan temple with the money that you made, okay?
After listening to what Ramu said, Sitaya immediately runs back to Mangaya's place to talk to him. Ramu and his friends leave the place. Sitaya looks at Mangaya and he says this to him.
Listen to me, Mangaya. I have been thinking about this for a long time. I think I would like to get that 4 acres of land that I sold to you back and give you 4 acres of mango tree land because I think you are too old and you won't be able to do anything with such a rotten land that I gave you.
Mangaya becomes afraid as he thinks that he is trying to fool him again. Mangaya looks at him and he says this.
No, sir, I don't need it. You can keep the land that you have and you can leave the land that you gave to me. You can keep it yourself, sir.
Sitaya was very upset with Mangaya disagreeing to him. So he starts arguing with him and he proceeds to offer 10 acres of mango tree land. But Mangaya refuses again. Frustrated, Sitaya then immediately makes it 40 acres of mango tree land for 4 acres of Mangaya's land. Finally, after an hour of arguments, Mangaya said okay.
Sure, sir, but I have one condition. You are going to have to give a written agreement that you are giving your entire mango farm to me right now.
Sitaya was so convinced about the gold in that barren land that he was willing to give anything to achieve that. He agreed to giving 40 acres of his mango tree land for that barren land.
Okay, fine. I shall give you the entire farm in a written and verbal agreement.
Sitaya agreed, made him sign the entire 40 acres of mango tree land to Mangaya. Mangaya received the written agreement and he left after a while. Sitaya went to the barren land and started digging in the same place that Ramu told him to dig. After digging for days, he realized that there is no gold under that land and he started crying in pain.
What kind of a man am I? I gave away everything for this barren land, all because of that stupid priest. What I have done to my own life? This is miserable and I am in pain.
Finally, Ramu had made this greedy man realize that he made sure that this man's greed was shut and his father had received the justice that he was owed. If you like this story, do like it, share it. For more new stories, please subscribe our New Stories Book English YouTube channel.